everybody? Welcome to Joey T Live, Leafs Talk, Life Talk, episode 18. I'm here with Wonder Boy. We haven't been on Facebook Live for over a week. A lot of shit happens and we got to get our stuff together. But the Leafs had 4 games in the last 8 to 10 days. Tonight's sponsors, let me clear that up right away, is Vivo Transport, On the Run Meals, Feel Good, Look Great, Jesse and Joe Realtors, Joey Tomaselli at thenovagroup.ca for all your mortgage needs. And Leafs record right now is 21-13-1 with 43 points. Their last 4 games have been a little bit of a rough ride, Wonder Boy. I know they lost to Philly, they lost to Minnesota, lost to Detroit with a 3-game losing streak. Huge game tonight, 100th anniversary. How weird did you feel, Wonder Boy, watching a game at 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
I don't know, I was home, I'm just like 2 o'clock. Sat down on my couch. I'm not used to it. Usually it's 7 o'clock games. Watching with my dad.
2 o'clock felt weird. It felt like I was watching a replay game on Leafs TV. It did not feel real, and I love the fact that they had over 4,000 kids in the arena tonight. It actually sounded more live. You didn't have all the rich people having a steak while the first period was going around, even though half the time I'm having a steak with them. But there's nothing wrong with that. I hope my microphone's working. Let's go over some of the games, Wonder Boy. We got the first game was, I believe, I don't know how long ago, it was probably a week ago against Philadelphia.
I think it was last Tuesday, yeah.
Already, it's been a week. Talk to me with the score.
At least lost 4-2. It was the first game without Matthews.
First game. Do we know what's wrong with Matthews right now?
I heard it might have been a concussion, but he is day-to-day.
He is day-to-day. I know he's back in the ice. I know he hasn't been feeling good. They say it's an upper body injury. Like, what does that even mean, an upper body injury?
The injuries, the coaching staff they don't do anything. They don't give specifics. All they say is upper or lower.
I hope it's not a concussion because
that would be
it'd be terrible.
Remember during the Edmonton game, he went head-on-head with Morgan Riley. I don't know if you've seen that.
I did not see
His chin went down and Riley's head went up.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Thanks, Riley, for ruining our careers with the Maple Leaf fans here. Okay, let's go over some stats of that game. 4-2 for Philly.
So, goal scorers Marler and JVR. They were outshot 39-22. They did have a lead going into the third period, but they just didn't play good.
2-1, I believe, right?
Every period, yeah. Every period they got outshot.
Well,
first period 7-6, second period 14-7, and third period was 18-9.
Anderson did give the puck away with a clearing attempt, but he's allowed because he's been making 40 saves a game. You know what? Once in a while, he did blame himself for that game. But if it wasn't for Anderson, it would have been 16-2.
If it wasn't for Anderson, we wouldn't be this good in the season.
No shot. You're right. 43 points. We're probably about half 30 points right now.
Second game of the road trip, we had a 2-0 loss in Minnesota. Mike Babcock after the game said it was a well-performed game by the Leafs. He just couldn't score.
Well, I guess when you're losing Mateo and he scores, he pretty much was in on, I think it was 40% of the team's goals this year. I think it hurts leaving Mateo off. I don't know what. I know he's skating again, but I'm not saying the Leafs look boring to me when he's not playing, but you don't get that kick.
You don't get that pop.
No, you don't get that pop. You
don't get like lifted off your seat when you see him coming down the ice.
It's like me when I get a fresh paste for my hair and I fix my hair. I get that pop feeling, and when I go on Saturday night, I just slide into the nightclub. When I see Mateo's not there, like I watch the game. I know you do too. I miss him. I want to write him letters. I miss him. Yeah. So what happened in this game? What stats do you got, Wonder Boy?
I didn't watch much of it because, I don't know, I wasn't happy with how they were with the puck.
Okay.
They were good defensively, but they weren't. It was dump and chase, no offensive threats. They did outshoot Minnesota, but they just, no excitement to the game. It was a pretty boring game.
The only thing, again, I've said this in a couple of shows before, the only thing good about Minnesota is Brandon Walsh is from Minnesota. Minnesota is like the Toronto of America. Like, Minnesota fans are crazy. Like, it's very cold there mostly all year round. That game, I saw a little bit of it. I'm not going to lie. I didn't watch the whole game. It just didn't look good from the start. Stahl's a Leaf killer. He always comes up big against us for some freaking reason. I think he's mad we never picked him up. But at $8 million, he's overpaid now. His best years are behind him. And we got our third game against Detroit, which we did score first.
In the first 40 seconds, Hyman the tip.
Hyman the tip off Boogeyman.
Borgman.
Yeah, he scored first, but then again, we looked flat.
Took our foot off the gas pedal and Detroit just came at us. Second out of the back-to-back.
you would think that Toronto versus Detroit, Babcock would have got the boys up and ready against his former team. And you know what? For the first time, I've been reading in the newspapers, Wonder Boy, is I'm seeing a lot of articles where they are starting to think, and I would love to hear what you guys think about it. They're starting to think that Babcock is overcoaching.
I think so too.
Switching the lines too much. And another great line is Wonder Boy, Komarov, probably their 9th best forward, maybe 10th. He played the most minutes in Detroit. And
Did he?
that
I
should
didn't
not
see that.
happen. Komarov, he looks like he was in the movie Princess Bride.
Well, they were on the penalty kill for a lot of the game.
Absolutely, but there's no reason why he's playing the most minutes in any game. I don't care if they're killing 15 penalty minutes. This is what Babcock, and I can't believe I'm saying this to the godfather of coaches. If Nylander or Marner are playing bad, play him more. Put him out there for 25, 30 minutes. Let him get booed. Don't play him 12 minutes. I think Nylander played a league low, team low 8 minutes one game.
Yeah, I remember that game.
That was bad.
He didn't get on ice for the third period.
It's like, you're not there yet, Wonder Boy. Once you hit 19, it's like walking into a nightclub and working that one lady for 8 minutes. You need more than 8 minutes. You need a quality 19, 20 minutes by the bar before she really gets to see the soft hands you have, the finishing moves. 8 minutes is not going to show her what you have as a gentleman, because you are a gentleman, and so is Nylander and Babcock. If you're listening, I know you are, because you follow my show and you're on my Facebook and Instagram. You got to play Nylander more. Is he stinking it up? Yes, but get him off the fourth line. I think that fourth line punishment's got to stop. I don't appreciate it no more. It's gotten to the point where it's getting a little old with me seeing Marner or Nylander in the fourth line. What do you feel about that, Wonder Boy?
I don't like it at all. I think he needs to put Nylander back with Matthews.
Yeah.
Last season, that line was a 1-2 punch. It was dynamic.
All
They were
year
scoring
round.
left, right, and center.
You know what, Matt? Would you agree that Nylander should go back to center until Matthews comes back and let him rot out there? Who cares if he's playing bad? It's better than what's going on now. That's for sure. So we had a huge game today, 100th anniversary. Leafs are 0-3 up to today. This was a must-win. I got a little bit of a glimpse of the game. I was home early today. You know, the holiday season for mortgages are not flying off the shelves right now. People are like doing their holiday shopping. Not a lot of people are buying homes. But the Leafs, for the first time since the first month of the season, looked like they were engaging in scoring goals again. They cared. Marner, finally. I haven't seen Marner play this good. Probably
Since last season.
even last year, but he had a couple good games against the Boston Bruins when he rifled one up in the Bruins garden. He had a couple other good games, but Marner's got to do this. There's no reason. He had 4 points tonight. He's definitely got to do this a lot more, especially with Matthews gone. This is where, again, I like to read a lot of articles. Steve Simmons, I'm not sure if you know who he is, Wonder Boy. He's saying it's so important right now that Matthews is not playing that Nylander and Marner got to show what their colors are worth. Because guess what? It's contract season next year.
Yeah.
If they're stinking it up, they're going to make 4 or 5 million tops instead of the 8 or 9 that they both want right now. So it's a little interesting. But give me some stats about today.
So Leafs 8-1, total annihilation over
Yeah.
Carolina. JVR, Bozak, Marner line combined 11 points. JVR 1 goal, 2 assists. Bozak and Marner both 1 goal, 3 assists.
Was JVR another typical lazy
Tap-in.
go tapping? That guy, I
He
don't think
makes his money around the
you know
net.
what happened? Phil Kessel must have rubbed his bum on him before he left, and it left all the laziness on him. But how many goals he's had now? 16?
15, 16
Doesn't
goals,
make
yeah.
sense. Hasn't skated the whole length of the ice all year. Okay, carry on.
Like I said, the first game all season that Marner looked like the Marner from last year. He was
I agree.
moving. I think it was the third goal.
When
He
he
got the buck on the right boards. Cut, went around the net, cut again, and went into the middle, and both actually tapped it in.
Same move I used to do on PlayStation on you, and you endlessly lost every game. Carry on.
Yep.
That's okay. Keep going. So we got Bozak. How many points did Bozak?
So yeah, goal scorers. Komarov, his first shorthanded goal this season.
He's about to kill him.
Marner, JVR, Bozak, Marlowe, Kapanen inserted into the lineup. He
I
scores.
love that. Don't you love that Kapanen's back?
He's
Who
a
came off under
Levo.
We know Levo.
Levo.
See, I wouldn't mind seeing Levo and a Kapanen on a Leafs line.
Nylander got out of that draw. He ripped that top corner. If you would have seen his goal, he ripped it.
Beautiful.
Coming
goal.
off the hash marks,
Yeah.
and then Carrick, the power play goal last minute of the game. Other than that, 8-1.
Huge victory.
Huge victory.
We got 43 points. I believe we're 9th overall. I looked at the standings.
7 points 7 points
first.
behind Tampa and 6 ahead of Boston, but we do have 5 games in Boston.
5 games ahead. We got a big game in Columbus, which Columbus always seems to play us tough.
And McElhinney is starting.
McElhinney, you got Tortellini as a coach on the other end, and Tortellini always plays the Leafs tough.
Columbus hasn't looked good the last couple. They lost 7-2 to Boston the other day.
They did, but they
But
definitely
looking for a bounce back game,
are-
especially with Torts.
good young team. Torts is a coach. They have 43 points. They actually have the same amount of points as us. They're right there with us. They actually weren't they close to being the President's Trophy last year?
Last year, yeah, they were close.
They're close. Washington came first.
He won the goalie trophy. What was it
Yeah,
called?
Vezina Trophy,
He won the
yes.
Vezina.
Definitely
Torts
did.
won the head coach
Coach of the year,
Coach of the
Jack
year, yeah.
Adams.
Jack Adams, yep.
Giacomo Award over there, and definitely going to be a tough game. So we're 21, 13, and 1 with 43 points. We're still sitting pretty. This is what Matthews missing about 7 or 8 games right now. It's not a bad record. Like with Matthews,
I think we're like 7-3, 7-3-0 without Matthews.
yeah, I think we were actually 4-0 with them, and then we lost 3 in a row without him. So now we're 5-3 with Matthews right now. That's the 8 games. We were 4-0 with him at one point. Then we lost to Philly without him, lost to Minnie, lost to Detroit, and then we beat Carolina. So we're definitely in and around that record there. Listen, at the end of the day, the Leafs team are better with him than without him. I saw him on the practice squad today, just ripping some wristers, going upstairs, deking around. Hopefully he comes back. I don't see him coming back tomorrow. Let's give our co-host a little call here, Ralph Spataro. I know he hasn't been on the air. He's been picking Jacoty on the 407. Hasn't not been back in a long time. Let's give good old Ralphie a call.
If he picks up.
Let's see if Ralphie's in the house. Okay, we'll give Ralph.
No, Ralph, no problem. We'll go on to the Raptors.
Well, it's the Raptors. How are the Raptors doing right now?
Raptors 9-1 their last 10 games. They're 20-8.
28. I know they lost against a team that they shouldn't have
They lost to the Clippers.
Ugh.
Dwayne Casey did not coach that game properly. I watched that game. He did not coach that game properly.
You know,
The players that were on the court for they had a 7-point lead with 4 points left. 4 minutes left, sorry. The players that were on the court, some of them shouldn't have been on. Fred VanVleet is a good player. He should not have been on that with the tall players that the Clippers were playing. He should not have been on the court, and they just took over from that game. He did not play them properly.
and weren't the Clippers missing Griffin,
Griffin's out.
Beverly,
no
point
no
guard.
Gallinari.
This is where the Raptors make me sick.
They had Jordan, DeAndre Jordan.
That's
So
not enough. That guy cannot shoot. This again, I love my Raptors at 20-8. Their record looks amazing. They technically should be around 24-4 right now.
They should.
They've lost against some teams that they shouldn't have. But I think it's just the consistency with the Raptors, like you said. And Dwayne Casey, I think he's got to go right now. He talks like one of the characters in Scooby-Doo. Like he's got a voice where I'm tired of hearing it. So imagine the players in the change room. I think he plays too much ISO. It's the same play all the time.
Well,
Throws it back someone else.
this season's been different. More passes. DeRozan's averaging like 6-7 assists a game.
I think he has to because the NBA is adjusting to the way he's playing too. But
Of course,
you're right,
yeah.
he is passing a lot better, and he's even said that actually in some of his interviews. But I think come playoff time, Wonderboy, it's a different brand of basketball. It slows
course,
down,
yes.
and I think that's where Lowry
Defense gets tighter.
defense gets tighter, and Lowry his throat gets tighter because he seems to choke in the playoffs. And he's a $100 million player right now, but in the playoffs, you'll see they're gonna finish top 5 in the NBA, but they're gonna have a hard time getting out of the first round. They almost lost to the Greek Freak last year. They're doing great. Listen, I don't want to sound like Debbie Downer. They're 20-8, 9-1 in their last 10 games, but they're also playing against 13 games in a row where they're playing against nobody that's above 500. So they should be winning these games. Thank you for Ibaka for finally showing up. He finally
Yes,
looks like-
finally. He's fine. I think he's averaging like 16 points a game this past 3-4
Oh,
games.
he's getting paid $25 million. You think you'd want to do that earlier?
He's finally looking like that third player at the Suicide Jerry picked him up. It looked like.
You know, like if he just played half the man he was in OKC his first 5 years, it would be a scary team. Because when we picked him up, I was ecstatic. But you know what? I'd rather have Cousins. Boogie over there, he's a bad man.
I heard the Raptors could be targeting Marc Gasol next year.
I don't agree with Marc Gasol. I'll tell you why, Wonder Boy. He's 33 years old. I don't like picking up basketball players when they have a lot of miles on them. Like, I want a basketball player from 20 to 30. After 30, there's only a couple freaks that I've seen play good. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron. Not that played good, but they give you that longevity of all-star.
Yes.
And I just don't want... give me a Marc Gasol 4 years ago, or even 3 years ago when we were playing Brooklyn in those battles. Oh, yes, please, give me Marc Gasol. Now, what do? You got to get rid of JV.
It would be JV getting Powell and maybe one of the
But
big
then
men.
you have Ibaka and Gasol both.
Ibaka's a 4. He's a power forward. Marc Gasol 5.
Technically, he's a center, but you're right, he is a power forward too, Ibaka. But I don't know. You know what? You're right, Wonder Boy. Why not grab him? Just try to go for the juggler this
maybe go for
year.
that one,
We're not
but
going to win the title anyways.
I don't see it happening though.
Let's just go for it. That's a good point. Get Marc Gasol. If all it takes is you giving a JV and a Powell for Marc Gasol, God damn it to both of them. I'll take them out. You're right. We got Napa Valley Kitchens in the house. Holy Mackinoff, but Gardner still sucks. Yeah, you know what?
Gardner
Napa
still
Valley,
sucks.
my nephew, if you ever saw him on King Street, because the traffic's not moving, I think my nephew would fight him in the middle of the street. He doesn't even need an Uber to face Gardner. Gardner, if you're listening, I love you, buddy, but my nephew wants to kick your ass. There's nothing, no ifs, ands, or buts. I think my nephew would poke you right in your eye, and you'd probably play better because you wouldn't be going for that long baseball pass all the time. Good point there, Napa Valley. We love you and we respect you. Mike Spataro, Timo's in the house, the owner of Vivo Transport, always representing. Vincent Perquillo, I got a lot of stories about Vince, but that's for prime time after 12 o'clock midnight. Not for these kind of stories. Right
How about
now.
we do a brief 2-minute segment on Vince Carter's last game in Toronto? You have anything on that?
They say it's his last game, but my man Vinny Bumbats, I think he's going to come back next year again. He's
You
still
think so?
dunking. You see him in the warm-ups there doing 360s. He's 41 years old. He's a freak of nature.
Like Yager.
I think he could prep.
You think the Raptors will pick him up for like a
One-day
farewell season?
contract. No, I think they're going to do a one-day fake contract where he retires as a Raptor. I really think he should have came 2-3 years ago. How cool would that have been? Vince off the bench, and he's still a decent player. Like,
Not
I'm
bad.
pretty pissed off that they didn't go after him, but he did say in his last interview before leaving Toronto, don't be surprised if you
Yeah, I
see me
see
in a
that
Raptors
too.
jersey. But if you come for one day, Vinny, get the hell out of here. We don't want to see you for one day. You know, I'm tired of seeing, people in my family one day a week, but at the same time, I got to show up because my mom cooks some good food. Let's try Ralph. Let's give Ralph a nice call again. Peter Shavila's in the house. What's he saying right
Let him
now?
retire as a Raptor.
We got Peter Shavila, who's got hair like Dylan McKay, saying, let him retire as a Raptor. You know what?
1-year contract.
1-year contract. Yes, Peter, I agree with that, but not a one-day contract, Peter, because you didn't learn how to do your hair in one day. You needed years. So why give Vince Carter one day? We got Ralph Spadaro probably doing squats right now. He's nowhere to be found. Fakest co-host in the game. I would love to have Ralphie Che answer that freaking phone.
Looks like
You
it's
got
not
Vic
gonna-
Vescio? Do you still have Vic Vescio in that number? That's going to be tough. I don't know if you still have it. Depends on how many phone calls you make. Oh, Ralphie Che. You know what? His contract just came out. Peter Shavila, we got the flatliner in the house. There's nothing better than... Give him one more call. Just keep calling for the answers. Anyone with any questions tonight, me and Wonder Boy. I know Wonder Boy's been on Teen Beat magazine for 7 weeks in a row. Rated sexiest teen alive because of this show. Congratulations for making the magazine. I know I'm on GQ all the time. Oh, guys, I forgot about one more sponsor. Goldie Lounge and Nightclub, 619 King Street West. Come check out the hottest spot in Toronto if you want to lounge. You want to take your girl out for a couple finger foods, couple bites, couple vodka sodas with a touch of cranberry, please. You know, I think he fell in the closet somewhere. I think Ralphie Che is definitely not answering that phone right now.
Nope. No Ralphie Che for this
No
episode.
Ralphie Che for the 15th time. And, yes, going back to Vince Carter, if we could get him 1 year, but you know what? Why can't we get him at the trade deadline? What does Sacramento need him for? To talk about, like, who killed Tupac? Like, we want him right now.
They only have him for the veteran leadership with all the young guys they have.
Oh, no, I would love, if we could get him at the trade deadline for a third-round draft pick,
I
I'd
don't see
pick
that.
Vince Carter up all day. All day. Guys, please share and like this video. Coming to you live, episode 18. You know what, guys? We're going to end this show a little bit early today. There's going to be a big show tomorrow. We'll get some special callers on tomorrow. Rafi Che, God knows we don't know where you are. You know what? Let's give him one benefit of the doubt. One more call, guys. Any questions before we go? Peter Shavila, Michael Divers in the house. Always good to see my good friend Michael last weekend at Goldie come and support one of the many sponsors that have me on. Again, thank you. Shout outs to On the Run Meals. Oh my God, we're hearing herself there. We got On the Run supplying me food, guys. If it wasn't for On the Run, I'd probably be on the street begging for food right now. They feed me and their food is fantastic. Jesse and Joe Realtors, one of the best in the games out there selling homes, including myself, guys. Good news for all your mortgage needs out there.
Yeah,
I
no
found a
Rockies,
lender that will do the old qualifying rates. I know, Wonder Boy, you do not care about that. But the good news is I have one lender that does not going to follow the rest of the lenders going into the new qualifying rates. What that means, I'll teach you something here, Wonder Boy. If you put 20% down, because you are on Teen Magazine right now, and you're just killing it, and you and your girlfriend want to buy a home and it's worth $500,000 and you put 20% down, as of January 1st, you and that lucky senorita will have to qualify at 5.34. But I found a lender that when you two come to me, I could qualify you at 3.34 going into the new year. It's fantastic. You're looking at me like I'm cross-eyed, but at the end of the day, Eva, welcome to the show, Eva. Congrats on 18 boys. I don't get what Peter's trying to say. Maybe on Teen Beat? What's he saying? Congrats.
18, maybe 18th episode.
Oh, Peter Shavila gave me a congrats, guys. If you want to see what Dylan McKay's son looked like, click on Peter Shavila. My man has one of the best hairlines in the game. He's got a smile that lights up any dark room. They call him the clap on. When he walks in the room, people clap and the lights turn on. That's why it's Peter the Clap on Shavila. Napa Valley Kitchen, guys, like, it's kind of getting a little frustrating that we're not getting no questions here, guys. We're ready to answer. Tony Guadagnoli, my Zeal's in the house. Mike Spataro, always, you know, when I make my first shirt for Joey T Live, Mike Spataro's getting that first shirt. He was my manager back in the day, Wonder Boy, and he's been managing my life ever since. Shout out to Mike Spataro. So how was your week going, Wonder Boy? Like,
I just finished exams.
How's that
Chris
feel?
just started. It feels amazing. No stress.
What was your grade? What did you finish? Did they give you grades?
Not yet, no. After exams, they give you a final grade.
Final grade, like
Yeah.
percentages, or is it
Yes,
a grade?
percentages.
What are you trying to get? 80%?
That's shooting for the stars. Let's stick with the 60 or 70.
60 or 70 as well. You're starting to get it.
First year is always hard, so
You know,
I'm happy with that.
At the end of the day, when I used to, Zeal used to get 50s, I used to say two 50s make 100. And my dad didn't understand that he smacked me into next week, but my mom, I let her know, I have the mouth like Jimmy South. I'm just going to continue on. But even if you get your 60 or 70s, good for you. Try to get a 68 to respect Yager if you could. That would be nice. Camille Moore, very proud of my son. Guys, if you guys want some good food, watch on her TV show every time. I can't remember. The Soul Show, she's on it. She's the only reason why me and Wonder Boy watch. Camille Moore, the prettiest lady in North America. She is with my good friend Alex Archese. We have a little agreement. If Alex Archese is not around at any point, if he gets kidnapped, I fill in as her boyfriend. I love you, Camille. We got Lucky in the house. Lucky, I can't even say your middle name there, but Kiprios was wrong about suggesting trade Marner. I agree with you. Camille saying I look fantastic. Stop it, Camille. And we got Lucky. Joey, remember V-Nex loves you. I know it was Alisac, Camille. I could smell him from here. His hair looks fantastic. You remember Alex?
Yeah, I remember Alex, yes.
Yeah, we used to call him Dexter because people thought he was very mysterious. But he kept his lights down low, you know, like it was a Lauryn Hill song. I don't know why, back in the day before Lovely Camille came and saved his life, all the guys and the girls thought he was mysterious, like he was Ben Affleck trying to be Batman or something. It was pretty pathetic, if you ask me. And I'm so happy that he can't reply back right now, and I can finally give him his due. Well, guys, what a show right now.
Well, I think we're getting a little bit off topic. Let's go next 5 games at least.
Yes, let's go with the next 5 games. Thank you.
5-game road trip.
Oh, we got a 5-gamer on the way?
We got Columbus, the Rangers, and then we go a little west. Arizona, Colorado, Vegas. Vegas, New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. I see a lot of party favors going on the 31st. Okay, let's go over these next 5 games. We got Columbus tomorrow. New York Rangers, Arizona. Hopefully, Mateo. Mateo will come
He's
back.
got to be back for that
He'll
game.
come from a broken leg. He'll play in Arizona. 100%. He's playing that game. This is Colorado and the Vegas. I think they have to go 3-5 on this trip. How about you, buddy?
I think they have to go 3-5 to keep pace with Tampa. At least stay close with them. If they go less than 3-5, they got a real problem with Tampa moving past them and Boston coming up.
Hey,
Boston's playing hot too.
You got a lot of teams catching up, like you're saying. Boston's got 5 games in hand on them. They definitely got to go 3-5. I don't like the back-to-back game tomorrow, and then they got 3-day rest against the Rangers.
And then back-to-back Arizona, Colorado.
See, those are 2 games you got to win. Arizona right now is a team in turmoil.
We lost to them their first game in Toronto too.
Bastards. And then we got Colorado, who got rid of Duchesne. They still got McKinnon.
And they're still doing pretty good. They're over 500.
My God, I still don't know how Las Vegas as a team is doing good, guys. I could even keep $1,000 in my pocket in Vegas for 3 minutes. I know they make a lot more than that, but that's a huge game on New Year's Eve, 3 o'clock, 3:30. Again, they got to go 3-5. That's a good point. So right now we're sitting 21-13-1 with 43 points.
24-16 on one. We gotta go.
Yeah, I think that would be a decent record because I have a feeling
I
Boston's catching up.
I wouldn't even mind going 2-2-1. With 1
2-2-1?
overtime loss.
Oh, Lucky's got a good point here. Joey, your Uncle Tony was casted for the remake of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I totally agree with that, Lucky. I was going to say, Lucky, you've asked too many questions and your luck's just lucked and ran out. But you know what? He definitely can be on that movie. But back to the Maple Leafs. God, we need a 3-5 road trip here for sure. It's going to be tough. Hopefully Mateo comes back. We definitely needed more of a Marner that he's been giving us today. Marner played fantastic.
Maybe this game from Marner is going to kickstart our next couple games. Maybe he can just pick it up.
Oh, Wonder Boy, we definitely needed that from Marner. Imagine another bad Marner in the Nylander game. The Leafs lose 4 in a row, and it would have been pretty tough. Well, guys, thank you again for coming out. It's episode 18, Joey T Live, Leafs Talk, Life Talk with Wonder Boy. Next show will be tomorrow night, guys. Some new things are coming in store for the new year. Oh my God, guys, answer the phone. Look who's come. Ralphie Che!
And then he hangs up. We'll call him back. We'll call him back.
What a ham, guys. Ralphie Che's in the house. Good old co-host of the 90s.
If he even picks up.
He's getting fired if there's an answer.
Hey, boys.
Ralphie, what's going on, buddy? I called you 14 times. What's happening?
Gentlemen, my phone's gonna die. I have to go find a charger. It's a makeshift charger. If my battery's at 6%, let's do this.
Okay, buddy. So how'd you feel about the Leafs' last 4 games? They lost Philly, lost in Minnesota, lost in Detroit, and finally had a big game tonight, Ralph.
This afternoon was a big game. I remember having this conversation with you saying that they would have trouble in Mini. I told you that they would have an issue in Philly.
You definitely did say that. You said that. Yep, I remember that.
But the issues with Detroit, you know what, Joe? I couldn't wrap my head around that. Like, Athanasiou had a good game. I trained with his brother Dimitri at the gym. Good kid. My son used to skate with them. But I mean, take Athanasiou aside, Tatar and Nyquist. That team's got a pile of shit there, bud.
I agree. Like, Detroit's not the Detroit of old. I know Zetterberg's still there, but he's a shell of his former self. He's not the same Zetterberg. That scares me. Howard, he's like Howard the Duck in that. He's nothing special anymore. Who's that guy, the defenseman that thinks he's Scott Stevens, but if you have your head down low, he's taking out your molars for sure. Cronwell?
Jonathan Erickson?
No,
Nicholas Cronwell.
Cronwell would rip your jaw. They call him all Chapel in Detroit because if you're not paying attention, you'll shoot your chin off with his body checks.
Absolutely. Cronwell, you know what? He's getting older too. Joey's slowing down, eh?
Oh no, he's definitely slowing down. But Cornwell, whatever his name is, he had some open ice hits in his day, boy. He would lay you out if you weren't paying attention. So Ralph, they lost their last 2 games. How did you feel with Mateo not being in that lineup?
I knew I was going to catch up with them. You can't go 5-0 and expect them, expected these kids to fit the load, to handle that kind of load. It was inevitable. It was bound to happen. Okay, it better happen on the road, Joe. They come home, they settle in, they beat a decent team today. Which, to be honest with you, Joe, I didn't think they'd have this kind of performance.
You didn't think? Sorry.
Maybe they have an A1 performance today.
Well, you know,
No.
if they scored a couple quick shots, that always helps the confidence, right, Ralph? You know, that's like
It does, yeah. But
that's like us at the nightclubs. You know, you have your first couple lines come out smooth. You got a couple digits in your pager. You know.
like me, like I struggled. You remember last year coming out all fake divorce? I'm like, what is this game? It's totally different.
Ralphie Che, here's a
Well,
question I wanted to ask you too. Me and Nicholas were, Wonder Boy, were reading something. They were saying it's the first time in Babcock's history where he's overcoaching and he's playing Nylander and Marner too little and he has to stop putting them in the doghouse. Do you agree with that?
I agree with him. Honestly, God, I do. It's such a tough call with kids, and he's the best with developing young talent. So you gotta just trust him.
Oh no, I trust him, but you know what though? It's like we love our fathers. I know Wonder Boy does. I know
Yep.
you love me, Goots. I love Silvio.
Yep.
But there's sometimes you want to give him a forecheck, you know, like a nice cross check, to the nose. But at the end of the day, you might get that shot in, but you're going to pay for it on the way back. And
You're
what
right.
I'm trying to get at is maybe Babcock's a little too hard on him. But guys, he has coached the last two Canada teams, World Cups.
Yep.
But I was telling Wonder Boy earlier, Ralph, I know you were listening while you were paragliding across the Ontario today. The fourth line experiment, get him off. I know he's trying to teach him more of a defense. Why not ride Nylander till he starts bleeding from the ears? Let him play 30 minutes. Let him suffer.
Yeah.
Switch
You
it
know
up.
what? It's funny. Yeah,
Put-
it's
put
funny
him
you say that,
center.
honest to God. Yeah, I honest to God, you know what? With Matthews getting hurt, with Matthews down, I thought the same thing, that put Willie up, switch these lines around, you go Marner up to the second line. You're right about him dropping the fourth line. You're going to kill their confidence. It's not going to do them anymore because they're both in a sophomore jinx, Joey. Even Connor Brown's slow down.
Absolutely. You know what though? Even though it looks like a jinx, they're still not far off from the last year's totals. They just looked better last year.
Yeah, they looked better last year. And I think the addition of Marlowe kind of settled that room down a bit because with those guys not producing, Joey, look at the results they're getting. You know, the 21, 13, and 1.
It's not a bad record. I know. Imagine Matthews is in those 8 games, Ralph. They're going at least 3 more victories there. You know,
Absolutely.
you lose your best goal scorer. You know, I thought at the beginning of the year Matthews was going to have Wonder Boy, 45 goals at least this
He's
year.
at 50 goals, I think.
You know, 50. But if he's losing 8 to 10 games at a time, he's barely going to get to 30 this year. And it's sad. I wanted to. You know, Connor McDavid missed his first full season. He still had 46 games, I think, and then he got crushed against the boards. He landed in there like he was dry humping the boards there. And he was out for a long time. You remember that, Ralphie Che? We've done that.
Oh,
on the nightclub.
Joe, I remember you and I, oh my God, it was Sun City, buddy.
Just-
You remember you're like, he's too fast for his own good. I'm like, look at that.
No, man.
Oh.
He went shoulder blade free. He's lucky that wasn't a longer injury. You know, like
Yeah.
he was technically not even around for his rookie season, and he almost would have
He
won the
wasn't.
Calder if he finished 70% of his games. So we
Oh,
definitely.
yeah, you're
Do you think Matthews is going to be back for the Arizona game, Ralph?
I don't think so, Joey. You know what? As much as I would love it to be, honest to God, that his hometown squad, born and raised, I don't think it's going to happen, Joe. I think his concussion, there's a deeper issue aside from the concussion. It's 5 games.
What do you think? January 1st?
Yeah, there you go. Yes, I do.
January 1st he comes back. What do you think? Wonder Boy?
Especially with the Leafs management and their doctor staff,
The history that they have.
and how strict they are with these young players and their
Yeah,
injuries.
I say January 1st. How about you?
Yeah.
I think a little
Oh,
bit
yeah.
longer.
You think longer?
Considering a concussion and considering they don't want this to expand if something else happens at a hit to head.
You know why I'm going to disagree with you there,
Yeah,
Wonder
good call,
Boy?
Wonder Boy.
You know why I disagree with him, Wonder Boy? I saw a glimpse of his practice, Ralphie Che, where he was going around the coach's top speed with the puck. I used to run around pillars in my house when Silvio used to chase me, and you can't have a concussion when an animal's chasing you, right? So I really saw the way Matthews was going around that practice. He looked a lot better. So whatever injury he had, I saw a couple of clips that they showed today in Sportsnet before the game. He looked good.
Yep.
And I really feel he might play New Year's Eve. I think he can make it by New Year's Eve. Because, guys, what day is it today? 18th?
It's 19th.
Yeah,
19.
18.
That's another almost 2 weeks away. I don't think
19.
he's going to be gone for another 11 days. That's a long stretch. Concussion or no concussion. It's not like he got rocked. I think he just bumped into Riley, got a little shaken, and he probably has an upper back injury. Heck, I got a lower back injury. No one's asking how I'm doing right now, Ralphie. And it is what it is, right? We got Mike Spataro with a big question right now. Mateo is coming back after the New Year's against Tampa Bay. Good old Migoots with a great answer question there.
He loves the Leafs like us. Joey.
Oh no, Mike knows more about Leafs than anyone that I know. He's thinking Mateo's coming back for New Year's against Tampa. Wonder Boy's thinking the same thing.
I'm thinking the same thing. Yeah.
I'm hoping by
Vegas.
some miracle, a Christmas miracle, that he plays against Arizona. Gets back in his hometown because that story about his life there in Arizona is phenomenal. I would love to see him play in his hometown. But again, you guys might all be right. I think it's going to take about 2 weeks, 10 to 12 days.
I'm thinking 10 to 12 days. I always had in my head, like Wonder Boy said. Like my father, I remember Migoots when he first went down. He's like, you know what? They're going to hold on to him because it's a concussion. And my dad's right. They don't want to mess with these kids, Jojo. When it comes to concussions, the protocol, there's a gray area.
How about?
You got to be really careful. Like if he exerted himself today at practice, Joey, I can guarantee you he vomited when he was off the ice.
Well, I vomited Saturday night, but things happen, Ralph. But what I'm trying to get at here too, Ralphie Che, if they're 21-13-1, okay?
Yeah.
Say they go 0-3. Is there a rush for him to play that fourth game?
No.
In the next 3 games, they go 0-3 on the road. You don't think they're gonna say, "Hey, Mateo, how you feeling? Your head okay? Can we get you out there?" How's Mateo's
No,
stats?
because
so far?
13 goals, 13 assists.
Yeah.
How many games?
Not too sure how many games he's played. Maybe around 30
I would say if
games.
he's missed 8, okay, there you go. We got 21 plus 13, that's 35
35.
games minus 8. Yeah, he's played
Yeah,
like
he's got 20.
27 games. It's too bad. We definitely I would love to have him a little bit more right now, but so Ralph, you guys are all saying the New Year's. I think Mikey's saying the same thing.
Yeah.
You know,
There's no other way, Joey. Like now, with the roster freeze, with the roster freeze, the Penguins made a couple of minor moves. The Leafs got to look to make a move to shore up that back end, Joe.
no, it's time.
I honestly got Joe. You got to start knocking on people's door, even knock on Carolina's door. If you really think about a Noah Hannafin, pull the trigger. If you really want to go after Matt Dumba, pull the trigger. There's guys out there that they should be grabbing. I know what you said about Doughty. There's a Carlson issue too in Ottawa. They gotta shore up the defense. Pietrangelo, Joey.
You think they're waiting, Nick? Ralph, do you think they're waiting for January on to do that kind of move?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I absolutely do.
I don't see that kind of move.
Do you see a blockbuster trade deadline move for a defenseman?
Oh, Carlson's gone.
You think so?
Oh, Carlson's gone. They're disrespecting him right now to the point where.
Yeah, he's got no respect. He's the best looking guy on earth.
Come
That's
on,
him.
man. They're like, this is how stupid Ottawa is. They go get for enough $7 million, which they really could have got a guy at $3 million to do what he does at $7 million.
Thank goodness that he took
Yeah,
that.
guess what his name, Joe? His name was Mark Method that they let walk.
They let him walk because they paid that other pylon $7 million, and then they don't got money for the best top 2 defensemen in the world. That's why Ottawa is going to be nothing but Trudeau's home for the next 50 years, for all I care. They got nothing. So.
Yeah, you know what? They shot themselves into a doubt with Joe. They have a nice little team.
Why would they take on? They played against Toronto so many times. What guy in that front offense? He was probably on shrooms and an asset when he pulled the trigger on that deal.
Oh, 100%. He was getting moved by some African. I don't know.
No, for real. What did he say to the owner? Oh, you had to see Phaneuf last night. The guy didn't bend his kneecap once. Let's take over that loot and just screw ourselves for the next 5 years. Like, who's in their front office? And Lamorello, El Chapo of GMs, comes out of nowhere and says, listen, Padre Bandejo, you're taking this piece of crap for the next 5 years. If not, I got your wife in the trunk. How do you feel about that? And then you got Eugene Mahalik, whatever his name is, owns a couple pharmacies, took his puffer and said, fine, what am I going to do? I'll Chaps, take him.
I know, Chaps is the best. Chaps like, give me Mahan Mahalik, I know where he's going. Give me Jared Cowan, he's going right to the A. Smart, man. Yeah, when Uncle Lou knocks on the door, that's a big deal. He's got so much respect.
Oh.
You know how many teams he's talking to right now, the Silent Assassin? Everybody.
55. I think he's even talking to some WHA teams where Brett Hall's father used to play on. He's all over the map right now.
Winnipeg Jets. Oh, what about our Winnipeg Jets, Jojo? I love that squad. What a team.
Oh, you know what? When they got killed by frickin' Toronto first game of the season, I was like, just shut down the building. They're done. But then you got Robin Thicke. What's his name? Shifley over there. Looks like Robin
Yeah,
Thicke.
he looks exactly like Robin
You
Thicke.
know, I think it is Robin Thicke. I think Shifley is lying to people, and he's not telling everyone that he's Robin Thicke. You know, like Wonderboy. Google that guy's name. You'll tell him that he definitely look. They got Lanny, they got Wheeler, they got Little. They just don't got a real solid goalie. I think Ralph. I think when playoff
Connor
time comes,
Hellebuyck.
Hellebuyck, you know what, Jojo? Hellebuyck's on fire.
it sounds like a sandwich I ate today. That's not gonna work, Hellebuyck. Okay.
Hellebuyck.
They are 19, 10, and 5.
Isn't Tim Hortons serving a Hellebuyck sandwich for the Christmas holidays?
Jalapeno?
Something like that. Please. All of a sudden, I got word about Halisak as the number one goalie. Not please, guys. Listen, they don't got a goalie. Bufflin looks like he should be playing power forward for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Okay?
Oh.
Doesn't make sense. I don't get it. He looks like he sells homes. I don't understand. And yeah, Winnipeg does look good, but they don't scare me. Edmonton, did you think Edmonton's ever gonna come around again, Ralph?
I think they're gonna.
I knew it, Joe. Nicholas, that
go
was our
first.
thing. Your uncle and I always said that. They got to get it going. They're too good. Now, they're a little, Joe, you know how many times you spoke? They need a winger. They're really slow on the wing. They don't break out of their zone with any urge. Like, I mean, they can't string a pass. They can't. They have trouble coming out of their zone. So they need someone to headman that D. They need a winger to play with Connor. Go knock on Buffalo's door. Go get Evander Kane. Imagine Kane with McDavid.
Who? You know, what do you
know
think
what?
about that team, Wonderboy?
I think they're gonna squeak into a wild card spot in the last, like how the Leafs did in the last 3 games of the
Better, yeah.
season. They're only 6 points out.
They're only 6. That's not that bad, actually. 3 games, but you know, like what Ralph was saying, Wonderboy. That's a good point. They probably only will squeak into the wild card because everyone else doing so good in front of them. But they definitely got to pick it up now. They look slow up front, and Draisaitl is a little too slow for my liking. I don't like
Yeah,
the
too slow
Draisaitl.
for my liking. Yeah, we spoke about that. Yeah, you and I. Yeah.
I'm not a big Draisaitl fan. Definitely not. Well, Ralph Che, thanks for coming out. We're going to do another show tomorrow night. Will you be able
Yeah.
to make it, Ralph? Because your contract just got cut in half.
Oh, my contract for the money we get paid, I'll definitely be in tomorrow. I'll be at Joey's. Actually, I'll be at 2 places tomorrow. I'll be at Joey's Yorkdale. After that, I will be on Dundas having dinner with a friend of mine. He's in from out of town, so then we can definitely get the conversation going, bro.
All right, thank you for coming on, Ralph. Always a pleasure having your knowledge, your abs, everything that you bring to the table, guys. If you
Thanks, bro.
you want to see someone that looks like the Statue of David, rent Ralph for the night. $1,000 is yours. That guy is ripped. His name is Rip. He's just fantastic, guys. There's not much else I can say about the guy. He can do the splits with dress shoes like I've never seen in my life. That guy can kick a field goal with his shoes at least 40 yards, Wonderboy. Like, this guy can do it all. He's got thighs like Elvis Styko. Wonderboy, thank you for helping me out again. My God, your contract's going out. Ralphie Che, God bless you. We love you, buddy.